Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. First off, if you just got an offer to study in the UK, massive congratulations. That is a huge milestone. But before you get your hands on that confirmation of acceptance for studies, or your actual student visa, you're probably going to have to face an interview. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A lot of students assume this is just a quick chat, a mere formality, or worse, some rote memory test where you just repeat facts like a robot. Well, let me stop you right there. It is absolutely not that. Look, I know this whole process can feel incredibly stressful, but honestly, it doesn't have to be. Today, we're diving into a comprehensive handbook by ZSR Nigeria Limited, and we're going to show you exactly how to prove you are a genuine, highly credible student.
Don't worry, we've put together a nice, calming roadmap for you. We are going to cover 6 key areas: the golden rule of credibility, mapping out your academic journey, defending your choice of the UK, securing your funding, planning your return to Nigeria, and finally, avoiding those top interview mistakes. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the golden rule, credibility.
Okay, let's dive into this. The absolute, rock-solid foundation of your entire interview is credibility. The interviewers, whether they're from your university or UK visas and immigration, they aren't looking for someone who uses perfect, overly complicated vocabulary. So what happens? Well, panic sets in, and a lot of applicants write out a massive script and try to memorize it word for word. Please, whatever you do, do not do this. These interviewers conduct hundreds of these sessions. I mean, they can literally spot a rehearsed robotic speech from a mile away. Simple, honest, and naturally structured responses that are actually based on your real life, those will always beat a memorized speech, every single time.
Section 2, mapping your academic journey.
This section is all about proving your educational background isn't just some random sequence of events. Think of this common opening question, tell us about yourself and your educational background, as your real mock interview bumper. When they drop this question, they are not looking for your entire life story. They are really testing 2 specific things: your communication skills and your academic consistency. Basically, do the words coming out of your mouth actually match the certificates and transcripts you submitted in your application?
So how do you nail that answer? Well, here is a highly practical 4-step structure you can use. First, introduce yourself briefly. Second, walk them through your educational history in chronological order. Third, mention any relevant work experience. And fourth, link all of that directly to your chosen course. The trick here is to keep it super concise. You really want to aim for under 2 minutes. Just skip the unrelated family history and stay strictly focused on your academic and professional path.
To make that flow even better, try visualizing it as a past, present, and future framework. Start with your past, maybe that's your awake, your ND to H&D progression, or finishing your NYSC, then transition to the present, exactly why you are applying for this UK degree today. Finally, point them toward the future, specifically your career goal back in Nigeria. And a quick side note here for our Nigerian students, please hear this loud and clear. Study gaps are perfectly fine. Seriously, if you spent 3 years running a business or raising a family, just explain it honestly. It actually shows real-world development and maturity.
Which brings us right to a crucial follow-up question. How does this course relate to your previous studies or career goals? You really want to highlight this one in your mind because it is absolutely one of the most vital credibility checks of the entire interview. The interviewer wants solid proof that you haven't just, thrown a dart at a board and chosen a random field of study.
A great way to tackle this is to literally map out your answer in your head. Connect your past experience, like your bachelor's degree or a specific job you held, to a skill you've realized you are missing, like leadership or advanced research. Then, point directly to the specific modules in your new course that will provide those exact skills. It's like putting a puzzle together. If you explain this logical progression naturally, step by step, your credibility becomes completely undeniable.
Section 3, defending your UK choice.
All right, so you've proven your academic journey makes sense. Now you have to intensely defend exactly why you chose the UK, your specific university, and your precise course modules over literally any other option in the world. When they ask why you chose this specific university, do not let it catch you off guard. Whatever you do, avoid relying on vague, fluffy statements like, "Oh, I just really love the UK," or blindly quoting some university ranking you Googled 5 minutes before logging on. You need to show that you personally researched their teaching methods, their facilities, and their industry links. And here is a super critical piece of advice, especially for Nigerian applicants.
Many students use an education agent, and honestly, that is completely fine. But never, ever sit in that interview and say, well, my agent chose the university for me. You have to own your decision. You can confidently explain that yes, your education advisor introduced a few options, but you did the research, you compared them, and you chose this institution because it perfectly fits your specific career objectives. Part of that research absolutely involves knowing your core modules, but, and this is a big but, do not just memorize a list of module names. Doing that is a massive red flag for interviewers. You need to understand what 3 to 5 key modules actually teach. Whether it's strategic management or sustainable engineering, know what the module covers. Understand why it addresses your personal knowledge gaps and be able to explain exactly how it supports your future career. Section 4, securing your funding. So, academic credibility is great and all, but financial credibility is equally essential. You have got to prove that you can financially support yourself in the UK without experiencing undue hardship or, relying on working illegally. You should frame this question as the ultimate test of your practical financial arrangements. The interviewer just wants to make sure that the numbers you give them verbally match up perfectly with the exact bank statements and application documents you've already submitted.
So, what exactly do you need to know? Well, whether you're being sponsored by your parents, an employer, or you're using your own savings, you have to know your sponsor's occupation, their exact source of income, their relationship to you, and the estimated balance of your tuition and living expenses. Please never exaggerate their wealth with vague, hand-wavy answers like, oh, my father has money, and never, ever answer a financial question with, I don't know.
A big chunk of your finances obviously goes toward where you'll be living. It helps to walk through a very practical 4-step accommodation plan. State what your plan is, explain why you chose it, detail the actual arrangements you've made, and know the distance to your campus. And hey, here's some quick reassurance for Nigerian students. Booking your accommodation after your visa is granted is actually perfectly acceptable. You just need to be able to explain that you have thoroughly researched university-approved options and you know their approximate costs and locations.
Section 5. Your return to Nigeria.
This next part is highly, highly critical. You must directly address the necessity of demonstrating a credible intent to return home after studying. Remember, the UK student visa is not a permanent residency route. It's specifically for education. So when you face this pivotal question about your plans after graduation, understand that the interviewer is checking for realistic career plans. They want to be 100% sure your primary purpose in the UK is getting an education, not long-term migration.
The crucial point here is this. Objective, practical reasons will always beat a vague, unconvincing, I just love Nigeria. You really need to talk about specific, genuine return reasons. You could highlight employment opportunities waiting for you, returning to help run an existing family business, family responsibilities, getting professional registration back home, or specific career progression that this exact UK degree is going to unlock for you. Just make it concrete and make it believable. Section 6. Avoiding top interview mistakes. All right, to wrap up this explainer, we're shifting into a high-energy, rapid-fire mode. Let's look at the major red flags that will instantly ruin a student's hard-earned credibility. You should rattle these off in your head to make sure you never do them. Number 1, forgetting your own graduation dates. Number 2, contradicting the very applications you submitted. 3, not even knowing what city your UK university is located in. 4, copying canned internet answers that don't apply to your actual life. And 5, getting defensive when they ask a simple follow-up question. Remember, experienced interviewers will spot these signs of poor preparation instantly. But don't stress. To help build your confidence and calm those pre-interview nerves, just follow this actionable night-before checklist for online interviews. First, ensure you have stable internet and a fully charged laptop. Find a quiet, well-lit room where you won't be interrupted. Have your academic and financial documents nearby, just in case you need to quickly reference a specific date or figure. And finally, dress professionally. Wearing business or smart casual clothes sets the exact right tone from the second that webcam turns on. I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. If you can't genuinely explain why you chose this path, why should the interviewer believe you? Seriously, trust your authentic story. You are investing a ton of time and money into this degree, and you're doing it for a real reason. Find that reason, hit the books, research those modules, and practice talking about it naturally. You have absolutely got this. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer.